Video that you should watch before we get into this discussion with Dr. Bodden, who's sitting here watching this with me. This video was shot at Christmas, about 4 months later.
Here's another present, Dan. Come here. Come get in the picture. And another picture. Got another present for you. This is from Santa Claus. Shane and his mom. They're not Santa Claus. I spaced out a minute. I'm such a dork. Santa Claus.
Clothes. Nobody likes to get clothes on the from Christmas. Although it is cute. It is cute.
It is cute. Oh, I love being me.
Oh, that's a good thing for her to wear today. On the boat.
Yeah, because on the boat. On the boat. On the boat. On the boat. She's pretty excited about it.
All right, so does it seem like Anna Nicole is under the influence of some drug in these tapes? And could the new evidence that police now have involve drugs? Joining us to sort of look at all the things that we're learning about tonight is forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Bodden. Dr. Bodden, welcome. Always
Thank you, Martha.
What do you make? Let's look at the clown tape first. What do you make of her behavior and her demeanor in that?
She looks like she's on a mushroom trip. Mushrooms, certain kinds of mushrooms contain...
And he says that to her. That's Howard
right.
Stern, by the way. That's his voice. He did the video.
Yeah, and she looks like she's on a trip with mushrooms because mushrooms contain a psychedelic drug called psilocybin. It's very much like LSD, and she looks like she's having hallucinations, that she's confused, that she's subdued, all the kind of things that you see with the mushroom drug, psilocybin. And Howard Stern must know more than he's talking about so far, because it's an odd question to ask, are you on mushrooms, unless you know there's something to it.
Yeah, and he says, oh, this is worth money at
Yes,
one point.
yes.
He says in that video.
And apparently he was right.
Yeah, apparently he was. Dr. Perper just spoke with us, and you were listening to all of that. What conclusions do you draw from the fact that the Seminole police called him up or called him in and said, look, we need some more time. We don't want you to release your results.
Yeah, it sounds like, and Dr. Perper said, that he had already made conclusions as to the cause of death. The cause of death being drugs or pneumonia or whatever, having finished all of the toxicology and the autopsy findings, etc. What remains after cause of death is manner of death, and that's natural, accident, suicide, homicide, or undetermined. And it sounds like he's getting more information, or he's going to look into more information as to the classification. Remember, she had attempted suicide. If this is a drug death,
right,
a drug-related death, she attempted suicide. She was abusing drugs, which would be accidental, or somebody may have given her a drug that she died from, an illegal drug, like Dr. Kapoor sending stuff by mail to Bahamas on the wrong name, and then somebody then giving her the drug could be charged criminally. So usually when the police get involved and they ask a medical examiner to hold up publishing the death certificate, it's usually because they're considering some kind of criminal charges.
A couple of things have come out over the last couple of days, and some of that is that Big Mo, her bodyguard and very close friend, has started to elaborate a little bit more on the story of that day. He says that she was on heavy doses of prescription drugs, that Howard K. Stern disappeared for a period of time, and he claims that he was acting in a very uncharacteristic way that day. So now you've got this. Now suddenly today, Dr. Perper comes out and says, whoa, you know, they've told me to hold on. They're continuing to investigate. Do you put a link between those two things?
Well, I think the various history that Big Mo gave, that on Monday she had 105 temperature,
right,
and then Tuesday she acted peculiarly, but her temperature had come down. are all important as to whether or not this is a drug overdose or not, or a pneumonia, because drug overdoses don't usually give you 105 temperature. And remember, she also had a doctor, Dr. Chris, a psychiatrist who was there part of that time. So there are a number of people looking at her, and I think that the circumstances sound like some kind of drug overdose is the predominant factor. If this were a natural death from pneumonia, the police have no interest in that. Right. That's a natural death. Right. But if there's a possibility that this could be criminal or could be even suicide, then of course they're more interested.
Geraldo Rivera pointed out from a conversation that he had with Dr. Perper, and I thought this was an interesting analogy. He said if someone falls down the stairs and they die the same way as if someone had pushed them, except that the reason for their fall changes what would go on that report.
It could be if somebody pushes a homicide. If they accidentally fall, it's an accident.
All right. Very good. Thank you very much. It's good to have you with us, Dr. Bodden. As always, I'm sure we'll be talking in the coming days about all of this as it comes out. And could Anna Nicole's autopsy reveal that foul play was involved in her death? This is what we've been talking about. Could there be a criminal